That's the downside.
Yeah. The funny thing is, this kind of helps us segue into the next point of, we were just talking about a couple guys. Well, typically when people think of cosplay, they think of women.
I don't.
Well, if you throw it out to the audience and they ask,
most
like,
people
who's
see
your...
female cosplayers,
Because
Yaya, Jessica.
Because that's
Females
what
are
is
more
out there.
females are more portrayed than the guys are.
Right.
And
Unfortunately, you also get the female negative stereotype of we're all out there showing our boobs off.
Or our butts.
Yeah, it's,
You know, you like gotta. We know guys like
And
the
we all,
TNA
and then
cosplay.
we all go walking around the con floor in 10-inch heels and all
And
this
we
stuff. I'm
try
sorry,
to
that stuff
flirt.
hurts.
It does, guys. I can take a few pictures in a pair of 10-inch heels, but I'm sorry. Stereotypically, if that's what you're expecting a cosplayer to wear.
Geekonomicon, I had 5-inch stilettos on. I ended up walking across a sticker patch just because I didn't want to put those shoes back on.
and I have a unique perspective since I've been on both sides of it. I've done the male costumes and I've done the female costumes. And the funny thing that I've noticed is I've run around like Vosh the Stampede.
Yep.
I've done Vegeta. I've done Lupin the Third. I've done several guy cosplays. And I can tell there's a stark difference between if I wear, say, like I run around as Mavis at a convention, everybody will be like, oh my God, I love that. This is such a great. But then if I run around as, say, like Lupin, people would be like, oh, he's just in a suit.
Not to
it's
mention,
not a lot
most
of
people
effort.
don't remember Lupin anymore
Yeah,
either.
that's just as true. But
I'm like, I get really excited when I see like old school guy cosplays. Like I saw a guy to amazing Sephiroth, and they were like, "Oh, that's cool. Where's that from?"
There was there was a group of guys at Dragon Con that did the nerds from Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh,
I lost it. She's like, what are you guys like? It's the nerds, and I'm losing it. And she's like,
Like we got really, I got really excited at A-Kon. No, it was A-Kon 2 years ago. I was sitting there talking with Chris Ayers, and I look up, and a Vampire Princess Miyu walks out of the elevator, and I lost it. I get really excited when I see old school cosplay. I mean, like, I get even more excited when I see guys cosplaying old school stuff. Like, 'cause even now you see females doing male cosplay because it's just what's mainstream. You don't have a lot of really good, female role models in anime anymore.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, is because the funny thing is, if I pulled out, like, just using anime as an example, there's, at least in what I watch, there's so many more female characters than there are men, because it's typical, like, there's one guy and like 50 girls love him, so there's a lot of choices.
Tenchi Muyo effect.
Exactly. This Tenchi Muyo is a very good example. And eventually I will do Ryoko.
I will too.
You keep talking about that as like in one of my favorite animes is Ronin Warriors.
Yeah.
It's like all guy characters. Like I think one girl.
I really like the animes where there's a lot of guy characters.
Yeah, and that was like the actual reaction I got that was the best. I did Yoji from Weiss Cross.
Yep.
And I had a fangirl jump at me in the dealer's room so hard that I hit the table. The dealer's table scooted. His merchandise shifted about 3 inches.
Got really excited.
Yeah, that was the only time anybody was ever extremely happy to see a guy costume that I'd ever seen. But it was because there was like things like yaoi about it and things like that. The fangirls just went crazy.
I remember my first con and there being a Inuyasha Shishomaru cosplayer. And they were actually guys. And I got so excited because I'm so used to seeing girls police. I'm not even about girls cosplaying Inuyasha Shishomaru because we're doing Inuyasha Shishomaru. But I get so excited when I actually see guys want to cosplay. Like, I love seeing couples cosplays where men actually want to cosplay with girlfriends.
Yeah, my buddy Johnny Hybrid does amazing costumes, and I believe he's San Antonio based. But I love his as a male cosplayer. Like, he's one of the guys I like following because he does leather work and all this stuff. And with me, I always like armor for men, but I'm now getting into wanting to really reach out to the female clientele. So I'm trying to reach out to a few females and locally to come in so I can, because honestly, I can make what I feel is a female armor, and I try not to make it look sexy or anything because I want it to be realistic, and so like it's tough though.
It really is.
Because as a guy, it's hard to reach out. I mean, my wife's there to help me, but there's so many other different shapes and sizes to women. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah,
movement
and you move. The way you move.
Exactly. So I've had to
Girls-
shorten, widen.
Girls move different than guys do, unfortunately.
She's weird. She's like 3 people put
I
together.
am. She has to use 3 different dress forms to build my costumes.
I had to have a petite, a medium, and a large.
And unfortunately, girls' bodies
You
are
got
shaped
lucky.
funky.
Yeah, somebody to help you.
I do. I have somebody that helps me nonstop. Always. At least I have somebody that encourages me and go, hey, it's okay if that piece didn't turn out right. We're gonna go around and we'll give it a couple days, and then we'll go back and fix
My
the
favorite
spots.
thing to do is I actually have her very first sewing project she ever did at my house.
I hate that thing. She pulls it out all the time.
I pull it out a lot. Whenever she's starting to get cocky with something, I'll pull that sucker out and be like, remember this? Or if she's starting to get free, she's like, it doesn't look as good as yours, or it doesn't look like this. I'm like, look at what you first did. Look at it now. Look at how far you've come in this amount of time. Okay, now I'm gonna go put it back and like stare at it and laugh and giggle at you later. But
Well, and I think we all need that sort of balance in this, whether we get it from a spouse, a friend, or an entire group of friends that we can lean on that help us out, and we can go, I don't know how to do this. And we, all of us actually are in the same Facebook group that we can go, I don't know how to do this, help. And within like 5 minutes, usually somebody's like, here, or one of us will go, hey, we're
come
having
over
a
to the
build
house.
night,
Who wants to come
bring
over?
whatever.
build nights with your friends are great because especially if you're getting frustrated on a project, you're getting frustrated and you're frustrating by yourself. But if you have friends there, they'll be like, hey, it's okay.
Or you have friends that can do something different. Like I've had people message us on our page and ask for commissions for stuff like this, and I immediately go, we are not the best at this. Please let me point you in the correct direction.
It's like, can you make this? I can, but I'm gonna send you over here to this person because they can do it better.
They can do your work is so much better.
Oh yeah, I point out people that come to me like for certain pieces, and I always try to, like Halo suits or
Oh god, I
some
want
iron
a pair
suits.
so bad.
I know people that are so far into it that I wouldn't want to walk on their toes.
Yeah.
Like
if somebody
Boba
calls,
Fett pieces, I wouldn't want to make my ammo belt because one of my best friends makes those, and he makes a good living off that. Just like I wouldn't want one of my closest friends that I've shared so much start making Saiyan armor, and then it's like, hey.
I personally like to pimp my friend's stuff.
I do.
I absolutely love going, yeah, my friend totally made this for me. He made this for me. Why? Because he loves me, and I'm totally going to pimp it out now.
One thing we kind of edged into is elitism and humility here, because we all seem to be a very grounded group that don't really get to the elitist.
We all got reality checks at some point or another.
I occasionally, if I'm out in public, I'll occasionally catch myself fixing to say something, and I'll be like, okay, wait, hang on. Let me go back. Let me think about this. How can I say this without sounding like a jerk or like an elitist? Like, I've had people, when I do eye patch stuff, I have to do it on my left eye.
Okay.
Because I'm blind in my left eye, I can't see. So if the character has it on the right eye, I have to do it on this side, and I'll have people come up and go, you got that wrong. And you don't know what somebody else is going through. You don't know if they're blind. Like I have a friend that does Nick Fury, and his eye patch is always on the wrong eye because he also can't see. So you got to be really careful with how you're saying something to somebody, because you could potentially like ruin somebody.
Right.
Well, how you're doing that.
And you could
gotta be nice.
Yeah, you could absolutely bring their love to a halt just by saying one wrong thing and
I
crush
stopped
them.
cosplaying from, I want to say my senior year of high school. I stopped cosplaying until about a year and a half ago with her. She came up with the idea of, I was at a con, I bought a costume online, and I was a Steel Angel Kurumi, and I was walking around a con, and it was like, somebody was making comments about I was a little large to be wearing that costume, and I was like, well, okay, cool, I can take that. I'm a little big,
That's all
I
I
don't
gotta
care. I just had 2 kids. I don't want to hear your crap. So, and I walked by her table, and, she stopped me, and we started talking for a few minutes. We became friends. We started hanging out with her group of friends. We started traveling.
You spent the next 4 hours behind my table just sitting there chilling with me talking.
And eating goldfish.
These are so
animal
delicious.
The goldfish, you mean it's the snack
I
that
always have
smiles back.
snacks under my table because
Snacks
I
and
know how
coffee,
this
man. But,
Mr. Coffee always has to travel to the convention.
you've got
Key.
people
It is.
that can't be, you've got people that can't be nice. And unfortunately, it's a thing. But, it's always nice to have somebody that's humble and that can, go, hey, we all started somewhere. We can't all start off like this level. We can't start at this level. We sometimes have to start small.
Right. And we're almost out of time, so is any final thoughts on the elitism part of
Don't be a
cosplay and how
jerk.
to don't be a jerk.
Don't be a
That's-
jerk.
we had a guy actually go, well, you can't be Pyramid Head, you're a girl. And he's sitting here in his costume, and I'm like, okay. I go put mine on. I come walking over, and the stilts. He goes, holy. I put the helmet on. He goes, you're that same chick, aren't you? I'm like, I'm a girl.
We were standing in line for the parade at Dragon Con.
He argued with her for an hour that I was a girl.
Yeah, I've had people argue with her in this costume. We were in Dragon, arguing with me.
If you've been in the game for a long time, and you've been doing stuff, the best thing you can do for everybody else, like I have people that ask me about like, what can I do to get into the career? And I say you just have to be very diligent and always keep your bar here, and never ever question on dropping it down for anybody. Because that's
always
your
have
image.
friends to give you reality checks.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, my hands are dirty. I've been working all day. I work literally 7 days a week, getting my name and my product, creating a business, an LLC. I have partners now, so it's been very hard. But now I'm at a point where it's like, I have good clientele. And I love helping other people learn how to work with costumes. I get a great joy from that.
We get to go work at home, so I wake up in the morning and decide whether or not I'm putting on pants and go into the other room and start crafting. Quite literally, that's my first decision is pants.
Tuesdays, at our shop is, we have people come over. We teach people how to sew during the day. Not to mention we're working on our cosplay. My new cosplay set, I'm already doing research for Dragon Con this year. We're doing League of Legends. And, these are big costumes, even though some of them are really simple. But, you can't just jump right into a project. Sometimes you got to work up to it.
Sometimes you have to jump in there. Never be too timid on a costume. You go,
I'm really
it's
timid.
too big for my skill level. Forget that. Just jump right into it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just jump into it. Just go.
Get help, ask for it.
Yeah, I'm fixing to build props that I never in a million years dreamed about. But I know if I need help, I can call people. I can go, hey, you know what you're doing. How do I build this? Yeah. Like, I'm really looking forward to building fish bones.
Right. Even if you're someone who's starting out, you don't know anybody else who does cosplay, you can do, like, there's YouTube videos, there's forums, there's websites.
Yeah, look us up, Just Because, on Facebook.
It's a great community key for Central Texas.
And if you don't know how to do something, post it up there. And
or you can come on any of our pages. We'll gladly point you in the right direction.
The next one is Gorilla. Gorilla is their mother, and I want to know.
And she's got 72 children.
Who slept with her to have 72 children? Someone that evil who eats babies.
She's got 3 different husbands and 72